Okay, so we'll get this thing started up here. Well, let's see. Okay. Well, for everyone watching, we are going live here on Facebook, and we are in the process of getting our YouTube stream going, so just bear with us just a moment.
Having to go to a new location tonight, so the setup's a little different, trying to get our bearings about us, find the best spot, best lighting we can. So we'll give a few minutes for everyone to join us, and then we'll get started.
So yeah, just kind of bear with us there, and we will have everything set.
Hello, Jennifer. Glad to see you join us and in chat, and actually on and watching us as well. We are right now still getting set up a little bit, trying to get everything set up so we can give everyone a good show tonight.
Yep, absolutely. So that's the fun thing about doing everything live from a location, is you never know how the quality of the stream is going to be. Some locations have better reception than others. Let me make one minor adjustment here, because I noticed our YouTube stream seems to be more on me, and I'm not gonna, I'm not going to be that way.
Well, yeah, YouTube is on you, and Facebook. Now you're trying to cut me out of both of them.
I'm trying to put more of it on you. I don't want everybody just having to look at my ugly mug. So
They might like that.
Right, if they're glutton for punishment, they might. So anyway, tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about some equipment, how to save some money, different things like that. So hopefully what you hear us talk about tonight will help you out, because one of my personal pet peeves is seeing people spend money that they don't have to spend because they're being ripped off. So with that being said, you might have seen our video that we had on the C.A.S.P.I.R Paranormal page recently. That one showed me building a camera rig from literally nothing, putting it together and building a rig that, including the cost of the camera and all attachments, was a whopping total of $200.
Which is really cheap for a setup to this extent. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we wanted to come back and do this again, because we've gotten several messages through Control Chaos Facebook page or C.A.S.P.I.R page asking us to do another show on cheap equipment, something that you can go out with and don't have to spend a lot of money, but have really good quality and real good infrared stuff like that. And we would love for y'all to send us messages and give us ideas for our future shows. Possibly, we love to hear from y'all like that. So keep sending those messages in.
Right, absolutely. And for the record, right now we're doing everything on Facebook and on YouTube. We are in the process of converting everything all into one stream, where if you're watching from Facebook, you can't read this writing because it's backwards. If you're watching on YouTube, it is. And yes, you can read this shirt and see.
I have to give a shout out real quick. My mother-in-law was watching tonight. Hello, Blanche. Thanks for watching us tonight. So I have to be on my best behavior. So
wait, you mean she's like watching you on purpose after having to see you as much as she does when you're not on?
She probably doesn't. She didn't do it voluntarily. She's probably just going to stay on for a minute and then disappear. Just to give us a little pop in visit, hello, and see.
Absolutely.
Nah, she loves me. She loves me.
Right. So okay, and I am going to make one adjustment here to our YouTube. Do our YouTube watchers just bear with us? Okay, and let me see. So to our people watching on YouTube, there we go. Hopefully the adjustment I just made on YouTube will help some. That's one of the things about remote locations. The location we're in right now is definitely off the beaten path. So it goes out further than the internet does. But if you look through the listings, anything you see online, if it has the words ghost hunting attached to it, you're going to pay more for it. That is pretty much a given. So with that,
and I want to add something to that, because I have been one of those people that has been duped into buying something that they say was absolutely great and wonderful and perfect and the best light out there, and you pay nearly $100 for phantom light, and come to find out, right down the road you can find something for $12, $24, and puts out double what you really had to start with, that you pay twice as much for.
Well, for instance, you've got you've got batteries in your phantom light, don't you?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
No. Yes, there we go.
Okay. All right. So this is the phantom light. You can see the amount of light it's putting off. Just barely a little glow there. Now, let me show you what a $12 light does. See? Well, when you plug up the connection here, and cover the light sensor. See, this is a $12 light, and this is an infrared light. There's no visible light coming from this. This is not a flashlight.
And how much did you pay for that?
$12.
$12 compared to $85.
$12, $85. Any questions here?
Phantom. I paid $85 for a Phantom.
So this, now granted, this doesn't have a battery attached to it. You have to know just a little bit, but you can easily get a connector that connects this up to a 9-volt battery. Now, mine is going to be a little bit brighter. Why? Because I have mine connected to a 12-volt rechargeable battery pack on the bottom of this rig here. $50, and actually the price of this has gone down, but this is a 12-volt rechargeable battery pack, and I will show this to everyone. Let me see. Everyone watching if you're watching on YouTube, our stream is having some problems tonight, so you might want to jump over on Facebook, facebook.com/controlled chaos live show.
Guess who just joined us? Kat. Kat
Oh,
Hobson
also
just joined
glad
us.
to have Kat join
Well, I'm
us.
kind of mad at Kat. She has been just posting all kind of pictures on Facebook of beautiful beaches, and
Right.
she is just. And here I am up here, sweat dripping off the end of my nose all day. But hey, thanks for joining, Kat. We're just messing around with you. I hope you're having a great time.
We're jealous, but we still love her. But yeah, you can see on the back of this, there's the USB connector, and the round connector is 12 volt. So I can hook a cable that runs anything that has a USB plug in and charge it with this, power it with this, however I need to do it. So that being said, how long would it take you on an investigation to go through $50 worth of batteries? If you've investigated very much at all, doesn't take very long. That's just a couple of investigations. So and I've seen this very same battery pack marked down recently to 34. So that
So
doesn't
the
take very long.
$12 and the 34 still doesn't equal what I pay for
right. So
Paranormal.
so yeah, I'm still under $50, and like I say, you can see the difference when I cover this light sensor when I flip it on. Now, let me find the sensor. It is that's kind of one of the features to it. There we go. It's kind of hard to do because we have the light right across from it.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'll tell you what. You know what's crazy is I could actually cover up this sensor, and it's still brighter. Oh wait, never mind. You know what? It's not working.
You didn't have it plugged in. You unplugged it a minute ago.
I unplugged it to show everybody, and I forgot to plug it back in because I'm that smart. So yeah, it's really nice and all, but it doesn't work if you don't plug it up. So throw that disclaimer out there. So we'll plug this up here. Then cover the sensor.
There we go.
You can see, even with just one LED is brighter than what you're seeing on that phantom light. $12 light. So the reason I'm having to cover this up, it has a battery saving feature on here, or a power saving feature. So it's got a sensor. When light hits it, it automatically shuts itself off. When it's dark, it comes back on. So that's what that's for. You can easily bypass that with a very complicated fix. It's called unscrewing the end of it. You can see there's a little lens here. You take some black electrical tape, put right there.
It'll stay on the whole time. It will never go off.
Screw this back on, and then it's going to come on anytime that the switch is on. So that's about 1/10 of a cent fix if you want it to stay on all the time. But the difference is this light, to get it, go on Amazon, eBay, wherever, and instead of ghost hunting, search for CCTV, closed circuit television. That is what this is made for. It's made for a security system, so that when the lights are turned off, it kicks on, illuminates the cameras, because CCTVs are security systems, also use infrared night vision.
And much stronger infrared, because most people put them inside their businesses and have to see a long distance.
Right, and looking under that, you can find definitely some very strong ones. This is perfect for a large room indoors. I mean, I wouldn't do it like extremely large, but your average bedroom, living room, something like that. Outdoors, you can get floodlights for infrared.
We have one. A large floodlight.
Right. As a matter of fact, I forgot to bring it in out of the Jeep, but all I did for this rig is, I'm going to show you. This is the light. It's $12. Just has a little plug-in. Right here, you can get an adapter, easily convert that over, run off a 9-volt battery, or use it with the power pack. So, and these vary. This is this size. Now you can get some of these that are very similar for a couple bucks less. I mean, $8-9 you can get an illuminator, and they're good for small rooms indoors. A little bit softer light. Basically, the bigger the LED, the brighter the light's going to be. The harsher it'll be too. So keep that in mind. All I did was I put a $3 adapter on here, and that's how I connected up to the little hot shoe mount. Slide that on there. Throw it down. There you go. And what I always do is I just wrap it around the handle here, and then I've got a wire in here from the back of my battery pack. Plug it in there, and we're in business.
Yep. Kat had a question from
Yes.
Chad in here, Frank. She says, have we made something for a large yard?
The big thing that you're going to run into, like in a large yard, is going to be just absolutely the size. Infrared light. I'm gonna get a little scientific here. So you know, of course, Kat would ask questions.
We start seeing smoke. We understand why.
The big thing is when you're when you're dealing with infrared, it's a lower frequency. Lower frequency, longer bandwidth. So what happens is it doesn't have the momentum to travel as far as like visible light. That's why, you know, a flashlight, an infrared flashlight versus a regular visible light flashlight like you would, you know, have in your toolbox or wherever. The white light's going to always shine farther than the infrared. And given that it just doesn't have the momentum to travel as far, you could light up one with enough floodlights, but
we do have a light. It's a 6x6 floodlight, infrared floodlight that we can actually reach out about. I think me and Frank measured it the other night, just walking across the yard out here, and I think we measured up to 150 feet to where you can actually still see pretty good outside and I have a 7-acre yard, and we were trying it out. So about 150 feet with our little 6x6 floodlight.
And you can get those with, I think the biggest I've seen was 24 LEDs.
Now, when we do that, we generally have this set up, and we're recording, but we also have other handles as well. This is the X grip that we can actually mount the larger floodlight on this. Now, have we connected these two together to where we can have just one combo? No, we don't. We haven't done that yet. But we do have a way to where we can investigate a large building, long hallways. We also take some of these lights that we've been spoofed on, and we use them as well. We don't let them go to waste. We always use them. We like to set these up in smaller rooms where we have a stationary camera, help out on some of the infrared that goes along with our trail cams that we've introduced to our investigations. These are really handy. They're motion activated. They set up, they take video, pictures. Great night vision for the hunters out there. They wouldn't be able to sell it if it didn't. So there's all kind of ways you can still use your equipment, even though you've upgraded to cheaper and better infrared lights and stuff.
And a good bit of advice on the game cameras like that is a lot of them, used to, it was, they were set to take photos. You could adjust how many photos, and they still do that, but most of them have gone to HD video, and a lot of them also record sound as well. So now you had to check the specs on the one that you buy. Make sure that it does say sound. But
we particularly don't use the ones with audio yet. We would like to, but right now they're still on a little on the expensive side. So wherever we put one of these stationary trail cams, we always have some sort of recording device to go along with it. So we always have audio and video in a room when we set up that way.
So absolutely. And hi, Rocky. Good to see you in there tonight.
I was just saying hello to him in chat.
Right. Yeah, I just happened to look up and see him. So hope you're having an awesome night there, brother. One thing that we have found is, like if you do want to use infrared, your biggest challenge outdoors is, whereas inside you have a lot of surfaces to reflect the light. You have other walls, objects, things like that. When you're in an area that's just entirely open, then that light's going to travel just a very short distance before it phases out. But that being said,
real quick, Frank, we got another question.
Sure.
I'm assuming they are asking, do we attach? I'm assuming the trail cams to anything. Absolutely, we do. They have also one of the inserts here for you can attach it to this. We like to use them on tripods. You can never have enough tripods. You're always needing another tripod for something. But we put these stationary on a tripod and generally just set our recording device in the room somewhere with it. We generally don't attach them both to the same tripod. I hope I answered that question for you, Kat. I hope that was the question you were asking.
So, now something too about cameras, as far as those go. You know, you can spend as much or as little as you want on a camera. For instance, if you look up night vision infrared camera, there's some Chinese brands that you'll see that you've never heard of before. There's one I keep seeing repeatedly that's listed by a paranormal supply company, as they call themselves. Sells for about $187. Which, although it's not very expensive for a camera, that is just the camera itself. And that it being a camera that you've never heard of, it actually has a lower resolution too. It only records, and I think the max was 15 frames per second. You always have to look at that. 15 frames per second means that in 1 second, it's going to essentially be 15 still images. The more frames per second that you have, the smoother your video is going to go. Especially if you're recording, you make those sudden movements, that's going to be the difference in it being blurred, distorted, and everything else, or it being a smooth transition and recording everything without that blurring. This camera is a Bell & Howell. I paid $99 for this on Amazon. And it has night vision built into it, the night vision infrared. I think it also has a dead battery right now because I'm forgetful and forgot to charge it.
Well, while you're doing that, we all have another question real quick. Which piece of equipment gets your best evidence? That is from my son, Dallas. Hey, Dallas, glad you're watching. We don't really necessarily have a certain piece of equipment that gets the best evidence.
Notepad.
Yeah, actually, it really is. A journal is probably your best evidence. So, just writing things down when it happens. What was going on in the room. We use so many pieces of equipment that we can't just name one thing. That I guess if we had to name one thing, I guess our EVPs, our recorders, are probably our best evidence gatherer.
Right. So yeah, this camera, like I say, $99. It's a Bell & Howell. It doesn't matter who you are. You've heard of something made by Bell & Howell. I say $99 camera. And 30 frames per second recording. So it's going to be a little smoother. Now, this is by no means an excellent HD professional quality camera, but for $99, it's a decent camera to take on investigations.
Really
and
is.
I know a lot of people investigating, don't have a whole lot of money to throw around. I know I'm one of those people. So, we had to go with the budget, and this is a great option.
And I don't think we got it out, but another thing a lot of people are introducing into their investigations are your GoPro cams.
Well, yeah, that little bag right there.
Here we go. I believe Frank's got us some right here. And actually what we found out through research and everything that we've done we wanted to introduce a couple ourselves. So Frank did, and what he come up with were these little SJ cams. which is just a different company that makes the GoPros, the small cameras, and these are really good to add into your investigation as well.
I have to, on that, I have to give a big shout out to Butch Wachowski. He is, awesome friend, awesome researcher. I suggest that everybody, if you see any of his, he co-hosts a show on Arcane Radio with Lon Stickler.
We've had Butch on a few times when we were doing the radio show.
Butch is very, very knowledgeable, and he's also a techie. He doesn't admit it to many people, but he is, and I just told on him. He is the one that introduced me to the SJ cams, and this is it. It's a little GoPro knockoff,
And we love them. We absolutely love our SJ cams. They have the same video quality. They have actually more features than some of the GoPros out there right now.
And the best thing about it, you can buy batteries for it are cheap. Oh, and the battery pack. This thing uses micro USB. I can run this. My memory card won't last as long as the battery power will if I hook it up to this battery pack and run it while I'm recording. But these are very simple to convert to full spectrum. Now, you can go online and you can find this camera. This is the HD cam. This is the GoPro knockoff. This is the knockoff of the GoPro knockoff. This one has the built-in Wi-Fi. This is the SJ cam. These run you about $80. They're a good camera, worth every penny. These are they're not quite as good as far as like the software goes. I have no issue with this. I've used this thing everywhere from haunted prisons, axe murder houses, to swimming underwater in the Bahamas, and it hasn't let me down yet. These run about $40. You can find these all the time, $40. To convert these, literally, you have a couple of options. You can order. Now, what I've been doing is I've been ordering drone lenses.
Now, when you're saying convert, tell me what you're converting to.
That's a good point, because I'm just saying this. It's going to come in standard vision. It's not going to be full spectrum, night vision, any of that when you order it. So you're going to have to convert it yourself if you do it. I've seen some of these for sale on eBay and on some websites. This same exact camera that you pay $40 for, converted, and then them charging like $180 for it.
Wow.
I mean, over 4 times what it typically retails for. So definitely not worth that. Especially when you can order a replacement lens for this for like $10 that is already set to pick up infrared. There are several suppliers for drone equipment have IR rating lenses. Order one of those, put that lens in here, and I have been using the drone lenses and having excellent results. Now, to do that sounds extremely complicated, right? Well, all you do is you pop this faceplate off. You see the camera. You're going to have this little ring here. Sometimes it comes off with the lens, sometimes it doesn't. And you're going to have, okay, who watching has some fingernails so you can come get this?
I don't. I eat mine off all the time.
So fingernails or a small screwdriver might be required. There we go. I got it. All right. So this just literally snaps off. You've seen I haven't used any kind of tool or anything. Now, underneath this camera, or the lens, you can see where it sticks out right there. There will be a little glue in here. All you do is you take an X-Acto knife and you break that glue loose. And then, when you break that glue loose, you unscrew this. Now, for those who can't see what I'm doing, I'm literally...
You're basically just unscrewing the lens.
I'm unscrewing it. And just remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Well, that applies to this. All right, you want to be careful to not get any dust or anything down in here because this is your CMOS sensor. Set it face down. And this is what does all of the magic. Okay, so I have two options here. This lens has not been converted to full spectrum. This is still standard vision. How can I tell that? See that little red square on the back of it? That is the infrared filter. So, and hi Michelle. That's the infrared filter. This blocks out the infrared light. If I want to convert this, who wants me to convert this camera right now? We can do that, right?
I don't know, Frank. That's $40 that I have to come back up with. If I'll trust you though. I'll trust you though. I do. I'll trust you on this one.
Let me see. If I have it with me, which I should. I know I typically always have it in here. Let's see.
And I apologize if y'all think I'm looking down, ignoring everyone. I am actually talking with everyone in chat. I would like to at least say hello to everyone for taking the time out of their night to come watch two Alabama boys just totally destroy the English language. I mean, we're going to sit here and we'll probably talk a little about everything and a lot about nothing. So just bear with us. So we're having a little bit of technical issues with our service out here. So we are... Oops, sorry. Yeah, we are definitely getting this going along real well. Frank, what are you looking for?
I am, here we go.
There we are. Frank's trying to get us a little tool to work with over here. Here he comes.
All right.
But a lot of people, what Frank is about to show you, I'm just gonna wait and let him show you, and then talk after that.
All right. I've got a knife. Where? Okay. Just to kind of show everyone the difference here. I'm going to screw this back in for just a second. It's going to be kind of out of focus and everything. This is absolutely not planned. We're doing this completely on the fly.
This was not in the script whatsoever.
So, all I'm doing is I'm just screwing this lens back in. And literally righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Screw this back in because I want to show you what the camera looks like. Normally, help if I hit the power button. Okay, let me get it somewhat focused in here. And to focus this, I'm literally turning it right or left.
Now, if you have problems with your cam after doing this, don't tell the company that you did this. You might void your warranty. No, I'm just messing around.
Now, as you can see, or somewhat see, hopefully, this is in standard vision. You know, that's... If we were to turn the lights off now, you wouldn't see anything. This is just normal vision.
Showing is right on me. Did you see that? That was a good little picture, though.
Right. So, we're taking this lens out. I'm going to power it down. I've been meaning to convert this camera anyway. Why not do it live?
Excellent idea.
So, alright, I've unscrewed the camera. Let me see. And just so you can see, that little square piece is actually what I'm removing. That is the infrared filter. I'm literally just taking a knife because I didn't have a X-Acto with me.
Scary to Frank to have a knife in his hand.
Alright, all I did is I pried this up, and I've got this loose enough where you can see the little filter is off in my hand. So, the filter is off. As you can see, guess what? This camera will now work with night vision.
That was it?
That was it. All I do now is, first is, I'd make sure that I don't have any kind of residue from taking that off. And
yeah, so you definitely want to keep clean your lens from fingerprints or dust or anything that you got on it while you're taking it out.
Right, especially the inside of it. You want to try to not get any kind of fingerprints or dust on there.
And it probably wouldn't help to have a can of air close by. You'd probably just blow it out before you put it all back together.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to do this outside or anywhere. We're going to get dust.
Wet.
What I always do is I take it and I'll just get the thread started. Now, I don't have any here, so I'm going to have to glue this in when I get back. Something I prefer to use is fingernail glue. Why? Because it's not that hard of a setting glue, but it makes enough adhesion to hold this in focus. Typically what I would do is I would hook up this to the computer and watch the HDMI so that I can focus it. And I would put just a little bit of glue around here to hold it in place and turn it till it's focused. I don't have all that with me. So I'm powering it back on. And I'm going to do a crude focus on it now. Usually I would have my glue and I would just go ahead and turn it, get it into focus. And once it's focused, just let it sit up. You want to do it kind of quick.
Oh, that's pretty close there. Oh, that looks pretty good.
Yep. Now, Kat watching there, she can vouch for me that I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to focus, but you don't have to be. I set some of the cameras that I do so that you could use them as a magnifying glass if you want to. Now, if you look at this is now night vision or full spectrum.
Full spectrum. Because
you're seeing the infrared light. Well, you're seeing more reflections than anything. But get it pointed downward and you can see the difference in the picture. So now keep in mind that I took a little extra time to walk you through the steps. It literally took me less than 5 minutes to convert this to full spectrum. $40 camera. So after you glue that on, you snap this little ring back in. All you do is line up the grooves. Face plate snaps back on. And now your investigation ready. So
less than 15 minutes.
Yep. $40 camera.
Converted yourself where someone was charging $180 to do this.
Right.
You can do it within 15 minutes sitting at your dinner table.
And it's the same exact camera. We just saved $140.
And that's one way you can do that. And that's one of the cost savers that we do when we buy cameras. Now, a real quick question for, and I'm sure some of the people that are watching have the same thing. Can you take this lens and put it back in?
No.
So once you convert it, it's converted. That's it. Okay.
However, you can do what I have done many times before. Save the lens that comes with it. And you remember me mentioning using the fingernail glue?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason is it holds it in place, but you can break that seal if you need to
instead of super glue, where it's going to take a crescent wrench.
Completely permanent, right? And in doing so, if I say someone we're going on a cruise to the Bahamas and
Key West,
and instead they were going to be doing some snorkeling or diving while they were there, and all the cameras they had were for investigations. Well, say they needed an extra lens to take with them.
Mm-hmm.
Not that this applies to anybody that I've ever met. That is pretty easy to do. Simply, take off the lens, and screw the one that isn't converted in.
It really did. I mean, even if you're not mechanically inclined, it looked like it was a pretty easy process.
And that camera comes with some accessories, and literally all you do is put that on here. We've got our rig here. Now, earlier I priced out this rig at about $200. Now, keep in mind, that was with that Bell & Howell camera. If you use the camera that I just converted, the $40 camera, that drops the price of this.
$150 now.
Mm-hmm. So about $100.
And still just as good quality as the $99 camera. Right. And your night vision.
So there you go. So you can see how easy that is. Wow. We literally, like I say, we literally just saved $150 or $140. This one's now full spectrum. So
I didn't believe it was actually that easy to convert one of those cameras.
Right.
They probably don't want to tell you that.
No, they don't. I have built cameras for people before, like these, and my price was I would only charge them like $10 more than what I paid for it, and they're like, no, that's not enough. You spent all this time converting them, and I'm like, no, trust me, that is more than enough. And now you see why I only charge like $10 for my time, because
15 minutes and you've converted it.
Right. It's and
I guess
I think $10 is fair, but I personally couldn't sleep with myself if I were to charge somebody $140 for doing what I just did on this.
I know. Wow.
But that just kind of shows you, though, how many gimmicks there really are out there in the paranormal. I mean, a lot of people let things get overwhelming to them, but don't. It's truly, truly much easier than you might imagine.
It really is. It sure is. And to take forward another example of some of the infrareds that we used when I first bought this infrared, it had a battery pack that you had to charge about every 45 minutes. And this is a small light, so you really shouldn't have to charge this thing that much. So what I done, I went and I converted it myself to a battery pack. 3 AA batteries, and I get 3 or 4 investigations out of 3 batteries than having to stop every 45 minutes and charge this and try to and stop doing investigating or find another infrared light to use. And it didn't cost but about $4 for me to do this. It's really easy. I went to Radio Shack. They have every piece that you need. Follow the wiring diagram. There's two wires in there. You can't mess this up. So it was really simple to convert.
So yeah, just and if you're in doubt on something, don't be afraid to look on YouTube. Lots and lots of videos that walk you through kind of the way that I just walked you through converting a camera to full spectrum. You can find videos that will help you with pretty much anything you can think of. And something that I recommend a lot too is one of these charging packs. I paid $10 for this at Walmart. Picked it up. It was up near the register at the checkout where the little impulse items were. Mm-hmm. This was an impulse buy. Good job, Walmart.
They know how to target their audience, don't
they? They do. Near a haunted location, about to investigate in Walmart. looking at some batteries for things that I didn't have a rechargeable pack for. And there it is. Now, this will run, the way it's made, it runs, you can see it's got 2 USB plug-ins here. So I can run anything, phone, camera, anything that has a USB plug on it, I can extend the life of it with this. $10, and I've used the crap out of this thing.
And these come in really handy when you're in places that you really want to investigate. Like Frank just recently went to the Vasilla Axe murder house, the Missouri State Penitentiary. What was the battleship? The name of the
the Batfish, the USS Batfish.
Batfish, and it comes in handy when you want to do a long investigation and get your money's worth out of a night's stay there.
Without spending $40 in batteries.
Yeah, absolutely. Without having to stop every 30, 45 minutes, change batteries. You can get all night off of one of these right here, and you won't have to stop.
This little adapter, I paid $5 for this on Amazon. USB plug-in and 3 micro USBs. So I take this $5 adapter and I plug it into my $10 battery pack. And let me flip it around the right way. For $15, I've just extended the life of 3 different items.
3 pieces of equipment.
Or I can plug into the other USB and run on 4. So you can see how easy this is. And you can even hook up a charger to this and hook the output of that to a charger.
Wow.
So say you're in the car and say the power outlet in the car only charges while the ignition switch is on. Charge here, output here to whatever you're charging up. When you turn the switch off, this keeps charging.
Can't beat it.
You can daisy chain things.
Great investment. Great investment.
So a lot of people don't know that you can do that, but I have absolutely done that so many times it is unreal. And it's a great way to charge up several of them at once because I'd I'd have my own
absolutely,
series going.
Yeah, and for years, before we found these things, and it was like that. It would make your investigation seem, incomplete, I guess you can say, because you were always stopping. You felt like by the time you were in the mood, the feeling was just right, and all of a sudden now you got to stop and change batteries, or go get another camera to tie on. And with this right here, you don't have to stop. You keep going with your investigation.
Right.
Because most of you know out there that's watching that these things aren't predictable. You never know when anything's going to happen, so you need your equipment to work when you need it to.
That's absolutely true. And I know that over the years I've bought enough batteries to.
We should own stock and Energizer.
Right. They should have sent me like a giant plaque that says, out of appreciation. That, because if I think of how much I've spent on just batteries over the years.
We've probably spent more on batteries than gas traveling back and forth to investigations.
Absolutely. Because you spend $100 in gas to go off on this long trip, and then you spend $50, $60 on batteries while you're there, and then. Yeah.
So, and batteries are expensive now. They're not cheap. So, and any time that you can find something like this to add to and help your investigation out, by all means do it. Don't be afraid to add something new to it. Try it out.
Yeah. And just a big note on infrared, full spectrum. Make sure that you're using it for the right reason. A full spectrum camera is by no means going to increase your chances of capturing an apparition. That is a popular misconception that is about as wrong as it gets. It has nothing to do with that. That's not why it's so popular. The real reason is it's cheap night vision. As in, you just watched me convert this to full spectrum, and I can put it with my $12 illuminator, and for under $50, well, under $60, excuse me. I learned math here in Alabama, so. But for under $60, I have a night vision camera versus $2,000 on a cheap actual night vision camera.
Right.
That's the purpose of full spectrum. It's not to capture apparitions. Your camera is there for documentation. What did you see? What did you get? If you go in with the thought of, I'm going to capture apparitions with this camera, you're going to be disappointed.
Yes.
This is to record the investigation, document everything. If you do capture something on camera, then consider it a major bonus.
90% of the evidence we capture is mainly audio. And we just had the cameras there to verify that we actually captured it on audio instead of faking something, or
Right.
you know how people get out there now.
Right, and making sure that, it's not someone talking that we can't remember being there, or something. The more documentation that you have, the better your results will be. The more you will learn from your investigations, which is what you want to do every time. I've been doing this 18 years. I still learn every single time I go out on one. Because I'm not an expert by any means. I learn every single day. And it doesn't take, I don't have to talk to someone who's been doing it longer than me for me to learn something. I learn things all the time from people who are just getting started, people who don't even do investigations, people who are complete pure skeptics that don't even believe in ghosts, period.
And one of the good tip that I always tell people is, even if you know what someone else is talking about, the best thing to do is listen to everything they say. Even if you know what he's talking about, they might say that one little thing that makes it all click for you.
Right.
So it never hurts to just lend a listening ear.
Right. Well, it kind of goes back to that old saying that a lot of you may have heard. I know I heard it a lot. I don't know why I heard it so much, actually. But it was that we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth for a reason. So, and that was...
I can probably imagine why it was said to you, Frank.
Right. I remember they tried to explain it to me for something, but I don't remember. I wasn't listening. So
You're lucky my mother-in-law is watching. I have to be good tonight. Because I have a lot of things to say about this man right now.
Right. So we're gonna need her to tune in every single week from now on.
No, I can't. I can't hold this in. I got to get it out sometime.
But if you don't take away anything else from tonight's show, every piece of equipment that you use, no single piece of equipment is going to make you a better investigator. Before you spend a single dime on anything, ask yourself, how will this improve the quality of my investigations? How will this help me? How does this piece of equipment work? What principle does it operate on? If you can't answer all of those questions, then you don't need to buy it. The only thing that makes you a better investigator, the only single piece of equipment that will do that, is the one that's between your ears. And learning, reading, experience. Those are what you have to learn from. Those are what improves the quality of your investigations.
When you said reading, we lost 10 viewers right there. Oh man!
I think my next series of books that I'm going to work on. I've been kind of working on that book about my own theories about paranormal research. What I might do instead is do like the big pop-up book of the paranormal.
Yeah, with the generation coming up behind us, that might be about how they associate with right there. That's the only way they can get it.
It's either that or scratch and sniff. So, with that being said, we're just about out of time. We're down to just a couple of minutes.
And that went by quick.
Yeah,
that really did. We didn't even get to some of the other things that I wanted to talk about tonight.
Right. Well, the good thing is only 15 minutes of it was converting the camera to full spectrum.
That's it. Yeah, that was a great lesson right there in less than one show.
Right. So, I hope everybody watching, don't be afraid to do this. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. There was the first time that I took a camera apart and did that, and there'll be a first time for you, but you can see how extremely, extremely easy it is. If I can do it here without even a lot of tools in front of me or anything, then if I can do it, period,
Trust me, he's right about that.
So, we apologize for the technical issues.
Yes.
But we hopefully
We'll be back next week.
Yep, and next week the location we're going to be broadcasting from isn't quite as remote as this one, so the connection should be a much stronger.
Yes, we apologize to our YouTube viewers. YouTube didn't want to cooperate with us tonight, so Facebook Live was it. Like I said, we will be back next Thursday. And what day is that? That'll be what? Man, I don't even know what today is. What's the date today?
What month is this?
It's Iron Bowl month.
Oh,
that's all I know.
Turkey month.
Oh, Thanksgiving too. That's
Turkey
right.
month.
I forgot about that.
Right.
We only associate holidays with Iron Bowl and Auburn football.
And food. Last month was pumpkin month. This month's turkey month.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Next month is all Christmas spirits.
So we'll have a show next Thursday at 8 o'clock. And then after that, it'll be Thanksgiving. So we'll probably take that week off and then come back with you the following week after that. And maybe have some really good guests coming along with us. Be able to sit here and talk with us. Talk about some Bigfoot, possibly. We have some really good shows coming up. We also have some software that we are trying to load up and get everything so we can stream from 3 different locations. We're working on that. Anything that's going to improve the show for our viewers, the people that come on here and watch us every Thursday night.
So yes, very soon. That just for the record, this stream that you're seeing right here now on Facebook is actually from my telephone. I have my telephone mounted to a tripod. So.
That's why we're having to set up in here like this, and try to get everybody in the frame here.
So that's something we are working on improving, and as soon as we finish a few software adjustments and everything, it'll actually have the normal landscape orientation and much clearer picture, because we'll be able to send this to multiple stream sources from an actual camera versus a cell phone.
Cell phone, yes.
So just hang in there. There'll be some growing pains, but we appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate it, and keep sending those messages to us for show ideas, things that you would like to see or hear from us, and we'll definitely take those into consideration and come back to y'all and give y'all a show about it.
Yep, absolutely. So between now and next week, have a great night and happy hauntings.
Happy hauntings, everyone. So what am I supposed to do with my hands while you're doing that? We're still live.
Yeah.
You didn't turn it off.
Do the YMCA.
No. Turn that thing off.